What if you have a really cool and interesting page in one of your junk journal signatures, and at the same time you have two pieces or even more, which would make the perfect collage on the page. But if you would glue this down, you would lose your journaling space on the page, and at the same time some really cool details the page gives you. The solution is easy, I think. Let's make a removable collage. Hi, this is Luise Heinzl with, I think, one of the weirdest plans I've ever had here for my Poppyfield Avenue junk journal. Well, at least for the signatures of my Poppyfield Avenue junk journal. This shall become a journal within the next few days. And this is part of my Poppyfield Avenue series here on my channel. If you want to know more about this journal, and if you perhaps are new here, then please check out the description box. There's a link to a playlist. Oh my goodness, and there's a fly on my knee. Oh, excuse me, please. There's a link to a playlist where you can find all of the videos related to this journal. You can also find my paper premiere in that playlist. That is a video which you can watch on replay, which went online a few weeks ago, and which was, yeah, like the name says, a premiere video with a live chat, but you can still watch the replay even if the chat is not live there anymore. I don't even know if the chat is still available. I'm sorry, I don't know that, but that doesn't matter. In that video you can see my finished journal already, or at least a bound journal, not completely finished, but you know, not loose papers, but in a cover, so that you can get an idea of what you will get if you watch this series. And now we are making a little time travel, because I want to show you different portions of my process. Ooh. Of making this journal, and this video is one of those portions. You can also find a blog post on my website. The link is also down below in the description box. There's a direct link to the blog post. Blog post. And I thought this could be cool. And for all of you who are still or again here, thank you very much for joining me again. To the new people, welcome to my channel. I know that this is a little bit different to what you normally see on this channel, but hopefully it's a lot of fun for you as well. I mean, I'm always hoping that it's, you know, as much fun for you as it is for me, and that you can get some nice ideas from this. Because of our pretty aggressive process of making the pages, you can see this splattering here pretty aggressively, and we've torn off or out the ephemera we've glued on here, and because of that we got this interesting edge here. And also because of that, I got a little damage here on the page. I want to quickly fix that before I go on with my idea, before I forget this later. I will just take a little bit of this tape. This is the cello tape by Ideology, and put this over here. That gives it even another interesting thing. It's happening again. That was not the plan, but that gives me an additional idea, because look how cool this looks. Wait, do it step by step, otherwise no one can understand what you mean, Luise. Look, when I looked at this page, and I thought I want to have this somehow on here. I thought that looks nice because I really like this little piece here from the printable in combination with this. It's absolutely bam. And this little postage stamp here, also from the printable, gives it like a little tab, like a little addition, a little, yeah, another layer somehow. Also this little scrap and the tape here and this torn thing here looks really interesting, I think. But at the same time, I saw a piece of paper here. I mean, this is a piece of paper, but this here somehow looks like an old piece of paper. Can you see that? Like a little, yeah, crumbled note paper or so. So I thought, can we perhaps bring this out a little bit more and then put this on here, but removable. And since I've glued this here, it looks even more like such a piece of paper, and that happened just a second ago because that was not the plan. I have seen this damage a second ago, and now I'm thinking, what if what a hard decision. Let's try something. Let's try something. Since I want to make a collage on this page as well, let's tear into the page, because this tape that looks so cool, especially with this white here. So why don't we damage the page here on purpose to get more of this frayed look. Let's quickly check. Okay, and since we have the white here, let's quickly bring everything out of the way which could be covered in paint. We obviously don't want that. Let's then close this again. Let's take a little bit of white acrylic paint, just a little bit, some water, this is clean, it only looks blue but it is not blue. And try to get a lot of this here to the sponge. Perhaps I should have made this wet before I dipped it into the paint. Let's then bring this out of the way and try to smash on here. Oh, it's not enough paint. Oh no, it's not. I want to get something like that there. It's not. If you do that, make sure that your sponge is soaked with something before you do this, meaning soaked with already some white paint or water or whatever. It doesn't work. It's just, it was too dry. Can you see, the more often I do it, the more the thing is going to react. And now, this might seem completely weird, I want to blow most of it off, because I want still to see this edge, and I want this to be pretty translucent. But in this style, around this hole, exactly like this. So I will quickly dry this. So then it looks like this, and I've already pressed this down a little bit while I was drying it so that it stays in this flat condition. And now I'm thinking, can we take more of this tape and put this over here? And since we have this hole here, the tape will be sticky on the other side, but let's use that as an advantage. By coincidence, I have this rest here of this envelope with this cool handwriting. Let's take a piece of this tape and let's now try to put this on here. Tear it off. So then we have this cool writing on this yellow tape. And I think we need a little bit additional glue because it's not sticky there anymore. Let's then position that here. Please remind me that I don't, when I work on this page, that I don't glue anything over this here, okay? That could happen very easily. Oh my goodness, I'm afraid. I'm already afraid. But that way we can then take another piece of this, put that over here so that we get a similar look to this. And then we take another one to put this over here, and then we have a little transparent hole in the page. I find that really cool. Can you see? You could do this with regular tape as well. Obviously, it doesn't necessarily have to be the cello tape, but since it is existing, you know, I'm a little bit in love with this tape. Okay, so then we can go on with the original plan, because I thought, why have I done this? Because when this goes on here later, we still see this, even if this is on here, and I really like this in combination with this. And when we remove our removable collage, we can see both of these, and then it makes sense on this piece of paper. And now I want to bring out this shape here, because I see this paper here, and I want to make a little shadow around the paper so that it stands out more on the page. And I have thought for, I think, 2 hours or so, which color I would like to use for making a shadow around this. First, I thought it would need to be dark so that this here goes to the background. But then I thought if I would put dark mediums on here, like for example a dark crayon, then it could be that it looks somehow ugly, too gothic or so. I don't know. When I see dark shadows, I always think about something. I don't know. So I've decided for lost shadow. I mean, shadow, yeah. That is coincidence. Let's try that. Let's start perhaps here, where this dark thing is, and if we don't like it, we can still switch to a dark crayon, can't we? So I want to bring this around here, and then carefully smear this with my finger, but only into this direction and into this direction, so that I don't come to this here, because that's the paper, yeah, and the shadow shall only be next to the paper. Can that be good? Or is it just too invisible? What do we think? It's pretty invisible, isn't it? I thought it would stand out more. I mean, it's not finished yet, but I want to try it here first before I go all around this thing. Let's see. Yeah. I think I have an idea. We will first go around here with the lost shadow. And then perhaps we could define the edge of that with something else. So here, the paper in my head goes along here, so the gray needs to be here. But I want to try to keep this white edge there. And then it goes along this little thing, and then, you know, I just follow this shape where the ink and these papers are. It's also interesting how different the crayon reacts on the different papers, but that makes it probably even more interesting. So then it goes along here. Needs to be a little bit on this portion of the postage stamp as well. It's not enough. It's not enough definition. Okay, we are going to switch to a dark crayon. But perhaps that is not so bad that we went around with the light crayon first, because then a dark crayon will perhaps show up better here now, because it's lighter here. Will it then disappear? I have no idea. Let's take ground espresso. I wish I had more control over this. And I think with a blending stump that should work. That works even better with my finger somehow. It's somehow more regular. Aha. Aha. Okay. Okay. Can you see that? Now it hopefully looks like this was coming out. I should have, if you do that, glue this tape when you are done with the shadow, because now I can't go over here because the crayon will not dry on the tape. I'm just thinking perhaps we should go even more abstract. And here there's a piece of tape, masking tape. What if we go all around this thing as well to get more shadow somehow, to get more of this layered look? I mean, it's an illusion, isn't it? But somehow I have the feeling that brings a lot of dimension. Look, oh yes, okay. Even if we can't see clearly here where this paper is ending, but who cares? I think I already like that, and let's go around this here as well. And then I feel the need to go along here as well. Even if I now go with a brown on this little sheet here somehow, because you know, here the shadow is outside of this thing and here it's the other direction. I have the feeling that it makes it more dimensional somehow. And what is this? We can do what we want. I wish it was even more extreme. We need two things, black and white. Black is not a problem because we can just take the black suit crayon. I don't want to go around with black everywhere, but just the tiniest little bit on this edge. Just to give it the tiniest little bit more depth. No, way more depth, but with the tiniest little bit of black, because normally shadows are never black. And because of that, I don't want to do it, but this is way better. Can you see that? But it doesn't seem to be black because it's just the tiniest little bit mixed with the brown, and then it still looks brown even if black is involved, if that makes sense. Oh, what happened here? Here, the tiniest little heart appeared. Can you see that? I mean, it's really abstract, but can you see it? It's a heart. Oh, that is so cute. Just about approximately half an hour ago or so, I watched Daniel Evans' lunch break love songs on TikTok. He's the one who brought my lyrics for the soundtrack of this paper collection to life, and he performed that song so that you can get it with your download. And when I watched his live on TikTok, I had my coffee cup and suddenly it was empty, and on the bottom of the cup, because it was so warm in the room here, the coffee dried and there appeared a little heart. And now here's a second one. Perhaps I'm losing my mind right now, but I find that really cute. Oh. Okay, so the black is not the problem, but white, using white, is a problem on the area. Oh no, it's photo paper. It should be waterproof. I mean, with that, it should be permanent. Will it stain my acrylic paint? I mean, this is a Posca pen, I know, but first I thought I can't use acrylic paint on here because this will stain my paint, but it's photo paper. Let me think about that. Yeah, well, but since we've used the crayon here we can't use acrylic paint because it will get stained. And I'm wondering if that would happen with the Posca pen as well. So I will try it, okay? Let's try to add some white things somewhere on some safe spots, because I don't want this to get brownish or so. So here on the photo paper, it should be absolutely no problem. Even with this little bit of the Lost Shadow crayon, that should be no problem. I'm picking up some of my of this white from there, which came out from here, so that I don't have to press again. But I want pretty much on this edge, just like this, so that we have a connection between this and this. Now it looks like it was torn here as well. Does that make sense? And I think in the camera you can't even see the difference to this area which was really torn and this fake torn area. Here is this masking tape. So I'm trying to add the tiniest little bit of this here as well. I'm hoping that it will not get stained from the mediums underneath here, because I think that should not happen, because it's done on photo paper. But there's a little bit of the crayon already that makes it not totally white, but I think that is good that we have a little bit of white here. 1, 2, 3 irregular triangle. That's always good. Okay. When we are happy with this, we are going to take this piece, which will go on here in a second. Then we are going to take this thing here. In one of the past videos, we have categorized our things into different categories: tags and pockets, collage material, fodder, and that's from this category, and tags and cards. The video is also in the playlist if you want to check that out. This is a piece of an envelope, which happens to be a good size. To make this not too flimsy and to give this another layer. And this piece is just from the ephemera pack / the Chunk Journal Kit Poppyfield Avenue. And then we can take this tag This is also a piece of tape, which was too much, then it's a little bit sticky. I want to get rid of that, because this will be in the air in a second and I don't want that it sticks to the page. I will take this and I will sew around here with my sewing machine so that these pieces are attached to each other. It has grown. While I was at my sewing machine, I realized that it looked completely ugly from the other side, so I've just used one of my collage papers we made in one of the other videos to back this. And now we can just randomly somehow tear around here, and then here from the back we have some of these ugly white areas. I mean, there's no problem with white, but this looks a little bit weird. But if we go around here with some ink, this is Vintage Photo Oxide ink, we can do it like this, and with that we get a nice layered look on the back of this piece as well. Okay, that's pretty cool. So then let's talk about a mechanism. Mechanism. That sounds like a really fancy thing. Well, for me, it is a fancy thing because I want to make a mechanism which can hold this here so that it's then later removable. And this mechanism is going to be a hidden paper clip. Yes, you've heard right. And if you know me already, you also know that I hate making hidden paper clips. But the universe has sent me a person who has shown me how to make the easiest paper clips in the whole world, hidden paper clips in the whole world. That person is called Glittergammy, and I found her on TikTok. And this here is the construction. And to be honest, I have absolutely no idea why I haven't seen this idea before. So, Glittergammy, if you're watching, thank you so much for this idea and for showing me that. That was pure coincidence. I was on TikTok and, you know, I was looking around there, and then suddenly I saw that she was live. And approximately 2 minutes later, I was somehow involved into that live stream. It was really much fun, but it was also a little bit surprising for me. You know, she invited me to the stream, and then I suddenly was there, even if it was completely unplanned. I was, you know, not even able to turn on my camera because I was just, you know, I came out from my bed in the morning and I was like, you know, a zombie on my head. But we had a really nice chat, and there she showed me this. Take a piece of paper. This is approximately 1 inch wide, and then take your paper clip. And this is already folded, but please imagine this wasn't folded, okay? Then you take the paper clip and you put it on here like so. And that determines the length of this and where you fold it. And then you just fold it and you keep folding, folding, folding until you have something like this. And then, wait. We need to turn this into an accordion. So that we have, please ignore this. Wait, sorry. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these sections. Wait, I will ink this here as well so that you can see that better. Can you see? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one is not. Holy moly, I said it is easy and I can't explain it. What the heck? It's 5 of these sections in total. Each of the sections is this length except the 5th section. That doesn't need to be the same length. If it was the same length, there's also no problem. Yeah, but we have 4 of these, and a 5th one we need to close the whole thing. This here I want to be visible later. So I turn this around and then I make a W. Please ignore this. And then you can see this is a W now. Here in the middle, we put it like so. We take the paper clip, put that on here. Then we take glue. And we put the glue on those sections where the paper clip is. Then we close this. And this is so cool because it's absolutely mess free. You don't need anything to put in here now. You know, for so many of the hidden paperclip techniques, there's something required, like for example a baking paper or so, which you put in here so that you don't accidentally glue this thing there together. We close this. And here there's nothing which could get glued together because the glue is inside there, and you know, if you don't act like an idiot, then the glue can't go into that. And with that we have a hidden paper clip. Look, within seconds. And if you don't explain it like an idiot like I just did, have this finished within a few seconds. Isn't this just cool? I find that so cool, and obviously I want to use it like so that the nice paper here is on this side, but this is just amazing. This is so easy, and now you could obviously use that for putting it to your page like so, or even the full length, but you can, what was that? You can even do it like so and have a little tab here. How cool is that? So thanks to Glittergami, who has taught me how to do this. And now I want to put this on here like so. This is then also a nice addition to our collage here, and then we can put this on here, and I want to put glue on here and then glue that to the page. But the question is now, shall we put it completely? Yeah, I think I will put it completely in there instead of leaving this tab here, because then the position is very clear where it is. Okay, so that's the position. Then we take our hand and press this down. Then we lift this up. And I will now put glue to the other side of the paper clip. Spread that to make sure that this is really covered, but that the glue can't squish out, so that this can't get stuck to the thing. Now we obviously need to let the glue dry before we can take this out, but now it's on here, and at the same time removable. This looks a little bit boring. Let's first take candied apple oxide ink, this stamp from French marketplace CMS 071 by Stampers Anonymous and Tim Holtz. I also want to search for something which I can put on here. What about this little coin here? Because the woman in the song, she bought the misprinted book in the stationery nook, and for that she obviously needs some money. What do you think about a few more white splatters? Oh no. I want to go home now. I am already home. Oh my goodness. I mean, I think I deserve an award. I mean, how is that possible? Have you ever seen something like this? I mean, what the what the heck? Can I? That has never happened to me. Let's try it here. Okay, now it seems to work. That is somehow really cool, isn't it? Do you think that this thing covers up too much of this focal point, which is the flower there? Is it too much when you look at it? I don't think so. But that is personal taste, I would say. I'm really, really, really in love with this and how this came out, even if it's a little bit different than I thought, but I think that is normal. But I'm surprised how this developed, especially with the shadow here. That is really cool. And now, can I take this off without smearing the splatters? We should be able to take this out so that we have this then. And I really like this as well, because this, without this, also still makes sense, doesn't it? Oh! That looks so cool. Did you know that I love Stampers Anonymous stamps very, very much? One round thing, two round things. A third round thing. So this needs to dry. I will let this air dry here on the tape. Can't use my heat tool because I don't want to melt this tape here, also here. So I can't put this back in here, but I'm hoping that you can, wait, I can carefully put it on here so that you can see it before I say goodbye, even if it looks a little bit different now. So yeah, let me know what you think about this, and let me know if you want to try something like this, or how you did the thing with these, yeah, like negative spaces here, which scream journaling space. How did you do that in your journal? Let me know in the comments. And if you want to know how this goes on here with this journal, then follow me for the next video as well. Have a very great and creative day. Bye.